Special Correspondents is a Netflix original movie written, directed by and starring Ricky Gervais, who's joining me now on the phone. Hi Ricky, thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Now, Special Correspondents, it's a remake of a 2009 French movie which I can't pronounce. Is it Envoyé très spécial? Is that
correct? Can't
either. Why did you choose to remake this particular movie?
I just like the central idea of two guys in radio, and they fake a war report, and that's all I really kept from it. I mean, it's officially a remake, but it's totally different. You probably wouldn't recognise it apart from that central theme. I've changed the characters and story and everything, but that's the central nub. I play a guy who's a sort of radio nerd who doesn't even know that he's an underachiever till his wife tells him he is, and she's sort of quite fame hungry, and she sort of blames him that her life isn't glamorous. And I work with Eric Bana, who's the cool sort of womanizing local celebrity, who I think's brilliant, but he thinks I'm an idiot. He's a bit of a user, and we're thrown together, and we're meant to go and cover this civil war in South America. And because I'm going through traumas, I lose the tickets and passport, and I suddenly realise this is radio. I can fake the war. And so I do an A-team type assembly of a little studio in a Spanish restaurant across the road, and we fake these amazing, fantastical war reports, and we're the only guys getting it, and the radio station becomes number one, and we're heroes, and it all gets out of hand, and that's the idea, really. It's like temptation. If you want to make your life better with a lie, would you and should you, and does it make things worse?
And you've got such an incredible cast: Eric Bana, Vera Farmiga, Kelly MacDonald, Benjamin Bratt, Kevin Pollak, and I love that you've even got Jim Norton in there playing a rent boy.
Yeah, I had to get Jim involved as the rent boy. He's in the opening credits. So yeah, that was fun. That was a fun day.
There's so many wonderful characters in the film.
They're amazing. They're amazing actors. It's an incredible ensemble, and yeah, they brought something to it that I'd never imagined was there. Like Vera plays this sort of nasty, fame-hungry wife. I mean, the real satire in the film is probably about fame, or what people would do to get on telly somehow. More though than it's like against sort of journalism in a way. But she made it funny. She sort of made it. She was, I mean, people enjoy anyone insulting me, I imagine. But she does it so well. And Eric his timing is just great. Everyone's great in it. Everyone is really great in it.
Now, did you go into this movie wanting to work with Eric Bana, or did Eric Bana come in and audition and do the audition like everybody else, and he just got?
Oh no one of these auditioned.
Right.
No one of the main cast auditioned. No, that I know what they can do, and
wow.
And Eric, I wanted because I thought I saw him in Munich, and the whole he's this brooding thespian and an action hero.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realise was that he started out in comedy in a very sort of similar way to me. I found that out the first week on set, and he's an idiot like me, which is good.
He's so funny in this film. He's fantastic in this film. He really is.
It's great. It's the main relationship, me and Eric. It's quite a Laurel and Hardy-esque because I'm quite happy with my lot, and I don't think anything's wrong. And he's dissatisfied and he wants more. He's the sort of Ollie who thinks, why is this idiot? Why am I with this idiot?
Yeah.
So everything I've done has got a bit of Laurel and Hardy.
That's fun. Do you know, I noticed the two characters in the cafe, played by America Ferrera and Raul Castillo. They just cracked me up every time they appeared in the movie. They were just dumb and dumber.
Honestly, the scenes with those two, we couldn't get through them. Stupidity is my favourite, right? And they play these really sweet, nice, loving couple who just want to do their best. They've got great intentions, but they're so stupid. Everything they say is funny. I think they steal every scene with saying something nice but dim.
I agree. I was about to say that they steal every scene that they're in, and I thought that was your Laurel and Hardy in there, because I know you put Laurel and Hardy into everything you do.
Well, there's lots of Laurel and Hardys. I sneak him into everything.
Yeah.
When Vera and Kelly are talking on the couch, that's Laurel and Hardy.
Of course it is.
Yeah, when she spills the wine, and the other one goes, clumsy. That's one of my favourite things, when Kelly spills the wine, because she's nervous.
Yeah,
I love that. It's just so much. It's so much fun.
Which process do you find most challenging? Because you're writing, you're directing, acting, and you're even editing.
Well, the most difficult thing is probably everything but those things. The most difficult thing is all the admin. Is getting everyone together in the same place, making sure no one's ill. Getting the finance, getting your own way, getting the date, getting the locations. It's all the admin. The writing is a joy. It's hard work, but it's a joy. You know when you've cracked it, and then you can still improve. The directing's a joy, because I've been with the script for a year, because I write it and direct it, and I'm in it. The acting's a joy, because that's pure fun, and I insist it's pure fun. My sets are just fun. It's everything else. It's getting your own way, and then, everything from making sure you get the right font on the poster to doing the red carpets to... All that stuff is much harder than writing, directing, and acting in a movie. That's the joy. That's easy to me. If someone said, once you've got all that together, nothing goes wrong with me, because I've lived with it. But it's all the things around it that stress you out.
Just for those listening, Special Correspondents is available to watch only on Netflix from this Friday, the 29th of April. Ricky, good luck with the movie, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks very much, man. It was a pleasure.
Stay tuned. Up next, Kevin Pollak.
Black Sky Radio.
Now, if I was to name every movie my next guest has appeared in, we'd be here till next week. I'll mention just a few. The Usual Suspects, The Wedding Planner, Willow, A Few Good Men, Casino, Cop Out, Grumpy Old Men, The Whole Nine Yards, End of Days. And that really is just a few of the movies he's appeared in. He also has his own chat show on the internet, as well as being a world-class poker player. Kevin Pollak, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm not wearing pants. Did you in fact mention The Usual Suspects? I don't know that I heard that. And
I mentioned The Usual Suspects first. Number one.
Well, you did. That's why I didn't remember by the end of it, because you mentioned The Wedding Planner, and then I couldn't hear anything else you said. I don't mean because of technical reasons. I mean because of my own brain.
Listen, thanks for giving us your time today. I know you've been busy plugging the movie in New York for the past few days. How have things been going over there?
Great. I live in Los Angeles, so I flew in for the Tribeca Film Festival, where the Ricky's movie Special Correspondents had its world premiere, well, the American premiere for sure. Excuse me. And it really went great. Yeah, terrific.
Now, when I first saw Ricky Gervais announce on Twitter that you were in the cast for Special Correspondents, I was absolutely delighted for you, because I know you're a big fan of Ricky's work. Tell us how you landed the role in the movie.
The way I landed the role is one of my favorite things to share, because it was so peculiar and a first of its kind. From all the films I've done a few of them. I don't know the exact number, 76. And I was at my weekly poker game, and I wasn't in the hand. So, of course, I drifted to my phone checking emails, and then I went through them, and I was not in the next hand. So I drifted to Twitter and was checking on Twitter, and I saw that there was a direct message from someone. First, you just get an indication that there's a direct message. So I tapped on it, and it was from Ricky Gervais. And at that point, he and I had exchanged a couple of tweets, and then we had only actually met for about 9 seconds several years ago when he did his first stand-up tour through America. And I was in a long line of show business, and I got my 90 seconds with Ricky. So I didn't expect him to remember that. Mm-hmm. I'd been such a huge fan. And this direct message from Ricky said that he was directing a new movie that he'd written. And there was a great part in it for me. Wow. Where should he send a script?
Huh.
And I direct messengered him back saying, first of all, this is the greatest DM I will ever receive in my entire life.
Yeah, too right.
And you can send the script so I can enjoy reading it, but the answer is yes.
Bro, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, in the movie, Eric Bana plays this sort of wayward radio reporter, and you play his exasperated boss, Jeffrey Mallard. What can you tell us about the character you play in the movie, and what was it like working with Eric?
Yeah, I try, my character tries all he can to put up with Eric Bana's character, who's a egotistical personality, radio doing the news, a reporter, a field reporter who's full of himself. And, it was a version of middle management, which Ricky specializes in, of course, in my character, but mine had no chance of being funny. So it was a little torturous to be in Ricky's comedy and be the straight one. Kelly MacDonald, a brilliant actress, of course.
Yeah.
She and I would tease Ricky on the set. We were acting in a movie like All the President's Men, an intense drama, while Eric and Ricky and America and Raul get to be in a silly, wacky comedy. So that part of it was bizarre to me. But the working and the doing of the film was a great joy because Ricky and I really had finally met in the sense that we spent any time together. And it took about 7 seconds before we were trying to make each other laugh like 9-year-olds. And that was how we spent the entire 5 weeks.
When Ricky was on, he told us that his sets are fun to work on.
Well, he's lied to you. His sets are intense. They're frightening. He does a lot of yelling. There's nothing fun about it. The crew and the cast feel intimidated. Everyone's on eggshells. He's egocentric to the point of, whatever the opposite of amusing is. He's right. I've worked on a lot of sets, and they're not always fun. And the fish stinks from the head down, goes the saying. And in this case, he leads by example, and that example is he gets bored very quick. He does not have patience for wasting time, anyone's time, so he likes a 10-hour day instead of an average 12-hour day on most films. Likes to be finished early. Doesn't like to waste a lot of time with close-ups or what they call a master shot. And I found it to be a joy experience in that regard. And when I went on to direct my own film shortly thereafter, he was a real, genuine inspiration. Here I'd worked with Scorsese and, Ron Howard and Rob Reiner, and brilliant American filmmakers who take forever, especially in the sense of Scorsese, 37 takes on everything and 4 hours to light a shot. And
wow.
But it was Ricky who inspired me the most in terms of a style of working, which is let's get to it, Mm-hmm. So it's a great deal of fun in front of the cameras and all.
Now, do you have any cool anecdotes from your time with Ricky? Something that you can share with us?
Well, I'm trying to think of what he shared tonight with Jamie, my better half, who also works on the chat show you were kind enough to mention.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we took you out for a meal when you were in America.
I had a great time over there with you guys. Absolutely loved every second of it.
Very important you keep saying that. So Ricky did share with Jamie that at the hotel we stayed at, there was a restaurant and it had a little private dining room in the back where we would hole up for dinner basically every night. And I had Googled the chef. I'd heard he had a specialty from the makeup department. And sure enough, he was featured in some culinary television special or something or a magazine or some rating that he got for his very special, as Ricky calls it, pudding. Everything soft that you eat with a spoon into Ricky is pudding. I don't know if you know this about him, but when we gathered as a cast, I insisted that everyone try it. And then Ricky loved to tell the story that the next night when I dined in there alone, because I got off work early and everyone was stuck, I still had the pudding. And his favorite thing was to picture me alone in the private dining room just eating the pudding. But on the set, I think the anecdotes really is just how hard he and I worked at while trying to make it look effortless, making each other laugh. So I would do my Christopher Walken impressions and Al Pacino, whoever, just to make him laugh. And he would cross his eyes and act like an idiot. And again, it was just 9-year-olds in the schoolyard trying to laugh.
My money would be on your Columbo impression to make Ricky laugh.
He does enjoy that as well. I did a little at dinner tonight, actually.
Now, what's next for Kevin Pollak? What have you got coming up, Kevin? You're still doing the chat show.
Doing the chat show, of course. Trying to do it every Sunday. We miss at least one Sunday every month, but it's on YouTube and however else one consumes these things, iTunes. And but I directed a movie, as I mentioned. It's coming out, I think, the end of September in theaters, but also on Netflix.
Oh.
Who, of course, Ricky made his film for.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, it was an acquisition. But to have them in your corner, of course, is amazing. As an independent filmmaker, they're really saving the independent film world, and for a lot of us, anyways.
Yeah.
But we'll have a theatrical release as well in conjunction. So I'll be working on that until the end of September. But also, there's a movie in the works I've been offered that I like very much. That is the making of the television pilot for the TV show Star Trek in 1964.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess it debuted in 66, and they're coming up on the 50th anniversary. So we're hoping to have it out by that.
I love things like that. I love things like that. A lot of love for projects
really
like
funny,
that.
Very dark, very funny, and very dark, told from Gene Roddenberry's sort of perspective. And, but great cast and great people. I'll have to tell you more about that when it's further down the line.
Absolutely. Keep us posted.
Yeah. I've done a couple of other movies that are on the tarmac, as we say, waiting to be released.
Now, one of our listeners in Scotland has just sent us a message. Steph Black says, "Hi, Kevin. You were great in Lost Room."
Oh, The Lost Room was a mini-series made for American TV on the Sci-Fi Network.
Right.
Must have made that about 10 years ago.
Wow. Well, thanks to Steph for sending that message in. Kevin, thanks for giving us your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Just know at dinner tonight, Ricky and Jamie and I, we were talking about you at one point. So mostly good thing.
Well, that's good to know. That just blows my mind. Anyway, Kevin, thanks again for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Special Correspondents, streaming on Netflix from this Friday. Kevin Pollak, thanks for being on the show.
My pleasure. All the best to you, Ross.
Thanks, Kevin.
Black Sky Radio.